Greetings, YouTube. So I've been thinking about this whole Take America Back meme that has been floating around so prevalently during this election cycle. Pondering what could they actually mean by that term, that phrase. Because last time I checked, everyone that cast a vote in America is an American. So that means that since all the Americans are voting for American ideals, then there is no back. But then I realized they weren't talking about possession, like, okay, I take this spoon back from you. No, they were talking about time travel. And therein is the secret to the phrase. Because the Tea Party and conservative in the Republicans and Democrat parties, they want to take us back to the 19th century. To a time when robber barons ruled the world. A time when if you were a minority, you had no rights. If you were a woman, you had no rights. If you weren't Christian, you had no rights. If you were gay, you had no rights. A time when anyone who spoke up would be squashed down, when there were no protections for our food or our air or our water, where our economy was at the whim of the robber barons. A time when anyone in business could do anything they chose and get away with it. When eminent domain was used to just run roughshod over entire peoples in the Native American community. A time when robber barons ruled everything and no one else had any rights of any kind. That is what they mean when they say, take America back. And while it is a bit of a cheesy metaphor, the whole idea that Democrats standing for D and Republicans standing for R, which do you choose to make your vehicle go forward? Well, it's still apt. Because by putting it into R, Republican, we're going back, folks, to a time when I can guarantee you that all the people who voted for those Republican candidates will have no say, no power, no authority, and no rights. Their food, their air, their water, their jobs will all be unsafe. But that'll be okay because, you know, at least they did it to themselves. At least they took the initiative to ruin America. That's what we're all about. We're all about bootstrappy kind of self-determination, aren't we? Except if you were born as a middle-class person, you're lucky if you'll die as a middle-class poor person. If you're born into the poor or lower classes, that's where you're going to die, folks. Those who actually get out of the class they were born into and move into that vaulted 2% of the elite who run our nation is minuscule. Most people who have money inherited it. The few people that make it big are just that. Few. The number of people in America today that have really, truly made it completely on their own, without any support whatsoever from their families or past inheritance or so, could probably be counted on one hand, and I'm not even sure if I would need all my fingers. Which is a good thing, because I work in a factory, and I'm sure that the Tea Party and the Republicans will now roll back safety measures, so my fingers will now be at risk. Yes, I know, I'm being over the top. I'm being sarcastic. I'm being bitter and cynical. But you know, at the moment I'm rather bitter and cynical and a little mad. Mad at my fellow Americans, upset at the way the system is set up that allows this atrocity to happen. All the things that we've succeeded at in 2 years will be rolled back. And all the things that were done to us for the 8 years previous to that will be continued. This is not good for us, folks. And people who expected the Obama administration to fix decades of abominable political policies put into play by the Republicans in 2 years, well, if I may borrow a British gesture, yeah. So, I don't want to take the nation back. What I want to do is move it forward. That's why I'm a liberal progressive. That's why I'm just one little step shy of a full-blown socialist. I want to move us towards a state of being where every American never has to fear starving, getting sick, being unemployed, or retiring. where we may not be the wealthiest person on the block, but we will never have to be concerned about dying because the system has failed us, because the economy crashes, because we get ill, because we can't afford to feed our children, because our education system has failed us and we are stuck in dead-end jobs. I want a system that takes care of the people, and when the people take care of themselves, they pay in the system to help take care of all the other people. Reciprocity, equality, taking care of your neighbor. That's what I'm all about. Now, the conservatives will use those same terms, but the difference between what the conservatives are trying to sell you and what I'm trying to sell you, I, at least, am not lying. I really want these things for America. And I'm going to keep voting and trying here and in real life to achieve them. Because I don't want to take us back to the 19th century. I want to boldly step into the 21st.